It had been a long month. Not in the way people usually say it, like, work was boring. I mean in the way that makes your chest feel like it's filled with stones. Deadlines were crashing down, co-workers acting like vultures, friends too busy to pick up the phone and dating. A complete joke. I'd hit that point where every day felt like I was just waiting for it to be over. One night, I found myself staring at my own reflection in the TV screen, beer half finished, takeout getting cold, and I realized I wasn't living. I was drifting. So when the email came through from work, that mandatory vacation days were being enforced this month, I didn't even hesitate. Screw it. I'm getting out of here. I live in LA, so I started looking at places I could drive to without burning out on the freeway. I didn't want to fly, didn't want cities, didn't even want people. I wanted quiet, trees, air that didn't smell like brake pads and weed. Somewhere I could just walk, breathe, reset. I booked a small rustic lodge in the San Bernardino Mountains, about 5.5 hours out depending on traffic. Close enough to reach in a day, far enough to feel like another world. Hiking trails, lakes, stars, the kind of place that had pines taller than streetlights and a silence you could actually hear. The plan was simple. Day 1, hike. Day 2, drive to the lake, maybe rent a kayak. Day 3, sleep in, eat, sit on the porch like an old man and do nothing. It was a tourist trail, but not Disneyland busy. The front desk clerk gave me a map, highlighted a few routes. I chose one that looped around and back within 5 to 6 hours, perfect for a day hike. About 3 hours in, I was in the zone. That clean kind of tired where your body's working but your brain's floating. It was quiet except for wind in the branches and the occasional bird call. That's when I heard the voice. At first I thought it was another hiker, maybe a woman talking to someone. But it wasn't talking. It was more like mumbling. A groan? Number not pain. Not quite, just low, strained, like someone was trying to speak through something. It came from above me, uphill off the marked trail. There was a narrow, almost hidden path, probably made by animals or maybe old logging routes. It wasn't on my map. I stopped, listened again, nothing. Then faintly, again, muffled, feminine. I couldn't make out words, but the sound made my stomach twist. There was something wrong in it. I called out, "Hello? Are you okay?" No answer, just a kind of whimper, drawn out, like a sob caught in the throat. I checked my phone, no signal. Of course. I stood there arguing with myself for a moment. I wasn't equipped for rescue missions. But what if someone was hurt? The sound wasn't far. I took the turn. The side path was steeper, less worn. I climbed slowly, careful not to lose footing. About 10 minutes in, the trees thinned and I found a ridge with a jagged opening set into the mountainside. A cave. That sound. It came again. From inside. It was louder now. Still not words. Still no shape. Just that voice. I stepped closer. The air shifted as I stood at the mouth of the cave. Cooler. Still. Like it had been waiting. I pulled out my phone again. No bars. I turned on the flashlight. The beam caught stone and shadow. Nothing moved. "Hello?" I said, and my voice echoed back like something mocking me. I swallowed hard. I didn't want to go in, but I also couldn't leave. What if someone was actually in there dying, and I just walked away? I stepped inside. The smell hit first, damp rock, iron, and something faintly sweet like spoiled fruit. The floor sloped downward, slick in places. My light swept over jagged walls and cracks. The passage twisted like it had grown instead of being carved. After maybe 20 feet, I heard it again. Closer. That same groan, but sharper now, urgent, pleading. "Hey, I'm coming, just stay where you are, okay?" I called, heart hammering. I turned a bend in the rock. The tunnel widened. The floor was littered with broken branches, some animal bones, and something else, a shoe. A woman's hiking boot, scuffed and half buried. I froze. The voice came again, but not from ahead, from behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Just the cave. Just the dark. My light flickered. Once. Twice. "Nope," I muttered, trying to keep my breath steady. "Nope. Not doing this." I turned to leave, but the tunnel didn't look the same. There was no bend, no narrowing path, just dark. And then I saw the shape. It was standing where the exit should have been, motionless, barely more than a silhouette, like a man maybe, but too tall, too still. As my light hit it, just briefly, I saw more than I wanted. Its skin looked stretched, pale and thin like wax paper, pulled over something too angular underneath. Its limbs were long, too long, arms hanging below its knees, fingers slightly curled like they ended in claws, and its head tilted. No eyes, just sunken pits where eyes should have been, but it was looking at me. I knew it was. The voice came again, but now I understood it. It was my voice. "Help," it said. "Please help." I stepped back. The figure didn't move. My heart was pounding so loud it hurt. And then, it took one step forward. I ran, deeper into the cave, into the dark. I ran blindly. Every twist of the tunnel felt like it would end in a wall, but the cave kept going. The deeper I went, the more wrong it felt. The stone seemed too smooth in places, like it had been worn down by something that crawled, not walked. Behind me, the sound followed. Not footsteps, something slower. A dragging rhythm, irregular, wet. A kind of shuffling that echoed in a way nothing natural should. I turned a corner, ducked under a low arch of stone, and there it was. It stood half in the shadow, tall enough to brush the ceiling. The beam of my dying flashlight caught just enough. Its skin was pulled tight across bones that didn't seem human, joints too high, too far apart. The arms were so long they nearly scraped the floor. Fingers curled inward, stiff, ending in cracked black claws like old tree bark. Its chest rose and fell in slow, unnatural movements, as if it hadn't needed to breathe but was trying to mimic it. Its head turned, not smoothly, in little jerks like it was learning how, and then it spoke. "Please, don't go." In my voice. It was wrong, warped, like an echo through broken speakers, but it was me. I stumbled backward. The creature didn't chase. It tilted its head again, slowly lifting one arm, and opened its mouth, not to bite, not to scream, just to mimic the shape of a scream. No sound came. Then, finally, it moved. Fast, it charged, limbs bending in impossible ways, and I turned and bolted. I slipped, fell, scrambled. The passage narrowed, and I had to throw myself through a jagged slit in the wall, feeling stone tear at my jacket and skin. I crawled, slid down a slope I couldn't see. Something slammed against the rock behind me, a wet thud. Dust rained down. I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. My hands were bleeding. My light was dead. I moved through pure black, guided by panic and the hope that somewhere ahead, there'd be a way out. And somehow, there was. I don't remember how I got out. Not really. I just know that at some point light started to return. A faint shaft through broken stone above me, then open sky, then air. I collapsed near the ridge. I couldn't move for an hour. Just lay there blinking at the sun, breathing in the sky like it was air I hadn't had in years. Back at the lodge, I didn't say much. Told them I got lost and twisted my ankle. I drove home the next day, windows down, music loud, anything to make the silence go away. But I couldn't let it go. A week later, I contacted local authorities, park services, rangers, search and rescue. I gave them the trail, the path I took, described the cave as best I could. At first, they brushed me off, said no such cave system was registered there. Then silence. 2 weeks later, I got a call. A ranger, someone who took me seriously, said they'd found the cave, but they wouldn't say more, just that it had been sealed for safety. I pushed for details. He sounded off, quiet, like he didn't want to talk. A month passed. I got a visit. Not police, not military, just official. Suits, soft voices, smiles that didn't reach their eyes. They thanked me, asked me to sign a document, a non-disclosure agreement, national interest, public safety. You weren't supposed to be there, they said. You got lucky. Let's not press that luck. I asked about the voice, the figure, the boot, the missing people. They didn't answer, but I did some digging. Found out that after the initial inspection, 2 cave researchers entered that site and never came back out. The entire slope was declared unstable. Area closed indefinitely. No public statements. I never went back. But sometimes when I'm alone, really alone, I hear my own voice behind me. Not echo, a whisper, like something still trying to learn how to be me.